It would benefit everyone to stop believing that there are no wrong notes. This concept is holding everybody back that subscribes to it. Really, what caging yourself in with a scale isn't holding you back. You see what just right there, it's that easy to topple it. If you stick to a scale, that would be a framework. A scale would be a framework of what you consider all the right notes to be. So if you only play the scales and the notes, you're limited. So what am I saying? You're wrong. There are no wrong notes because it's just an opinion on it being wrong. Chromatic notes can be used to create tension to resolve, which doesn't make it wrong as long as you resolve it. So like this guy said, it's just about the context. So like if I play a pentatonic box or a major scale in Ionian mode, what's stopping you from playing another like wrong note? You're purposely doing it to create tension. So then you go back to the right notes to resolve it. That's the context of music, is creating tension and resolving it. It only would be or could be considered wrong if you deviate from the scale and never resolve it, and then like the next music part comes up and you never, then okay, I guess in that isolated incident of that isolated context in that isolated moment, then you could consider it wrong. But you see, you got to look at the context of a whole as a whole passage. It's like this is one of these guys. Like they only know music theory. They don't know creativity and songwriting. They don't know tension and resolution. They only know I'm going to stick to my frameworks as if that's all of reality. No, it's not. It's your reality. All of reality is boundless. So there's no rules. It's like I don't even want to just go into this. Stop believing there's no wrong notes. So what he's saying is he wants you to believe there are wrong notes. Okay, in what context? In the context of a scale, yeah. In the context of a mode, yeah. In the context of music theory, yeah. But in songwriting and creativity, no. So he's doing what everybody does in a logical fallacy, thinking that the small bubble is the entire world. It only makes sense in that bubble. So how is there, and on top of it, how is it holding you back? When staying in the restricted form is holding you back. So philosophically speaking, like Bruce Lee, you know what I mean? This guy's stuck in a vacuum, in an isolated context, in a bubble, and thinking that's all of reality. There's no rules to songwriting, philosophically speaking.
Hello? Maybe you've seen it. There are still people posting that there are no wrong notes in music, and a fellow posted a Bill Evans quote sharing that there's no wrong notes, and I know that some people have heard Miles Davis saying that there's no wrong notes. What people, I think, should remember...
How much do you want to bet this guy's not a songwriter and has no music?
Like them have evolved to where they came to that conclusion. They spent years and years pursuing the right notes. Pursuing the right notes is mandatory in music, and the occasional glitch or error simply means nothing. So I'm going to give a demo of wrong notes in a blues that are going to be not of the chord, and then I'm going to do a demo of the same blues.
Yeah, but by itself, a blues scale has a wrong note, because a blues scale is a regular pentatonic box with all the right notes, but it purposely adds the blue note. So it would be like going descending in pitch. It would go G, E, D, B, and then you would add the B flat. That would be considered the blue note. That would be the note that makes it a blues scale. So like what I'm saying is a pentatonic box, assuming that it's the quote right note, a blues scale is that, but with wrong ones added. So you see, it's just another context. Now it's just a whole new context to say blues scale, but that blues scale was created with wrong notes of the other previous pentatonic one. So where do you draw the line of what's right and wrong when one of them that you now consider right was made with wrong notes of another one? Like, it's never ending. So it's not a static philosophy that anything is right or wrong.
So that you can compare the two sonic presentations of bass playing. Now, here's the first blues, and I'm going to play out of the chord, wrong notes, even if some may not believe that they are. And also recognize, just remember this, that some people say that playing a wrong note or wrong notes in time validates those wrong notes. I'll play this in time, and you decide. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now, I on purpose played all wrong notes. I know people will say, well, sometimes you play wrong notes. Who doesn't? Now, for classical musicians, it happens. I think that...
Is it me, or did that sound pretty basic and logical and not wrong notes?
Thought issue was trying to resolve. I made a mistake.
So literally, he just proved what I'm saying. He thinks he's playing wrong notes, but they all fit in the key. So how is it wrong? And he said they're all wrong notes. That's what I'm talking about.
No, if you make a mistake, fix it. Just go to another spot. I play wrong notes constantly. But here's a demo of all, I would say, right notes. And then compare it. And I'll use the same rhythm. So here. 2, 1, 2, 3.
There was chromatic notes in there in between that created tension, so he just played a wrong note. He just played a wrong note. In the thing where he's saying that he's playing all the right notes, he just played a wrong note. And in the other one, he did the opposite.
Passing tone.
He played all the right ones and said they were wrong. Passing tones. So, but that's proving my point, not his.
Passing tone, passing tone, passing tone. But the whole thing was based in right notes. Here's another demonstration, and I'm going to play an occasional wrong note. And let's see if I repair it, allow it, or use it.
He's contradicting everything.
In the experience.
All right, hold on.
Okay, here we go. The occasional wrong note. Now, what that might have demonstrated was perhaps I'm not that good of a player of melody. And
It
that
sounded
these
like
faux pas, these
mistakes, like
are
you
wonderful
accidentally
teaching
landed on
aids.
it.
Because I'm in the privacy of my room, it's not online. Nobody hears me messing up. But I sure did mess up. So now why? I say to myself,
But I heard him mess up because he was doing it on purpose.
And there we are in the position to seek harmony first, melody first. If you do that, your whole...
All he did was contradict both. All he did was contradict himself in both examples, and then contradicted each other. So, like the thing where he says he's playing no right notes was all right notes. Then he said he's going to play occasional wrong notes, which contradicts a previous contradiction. So it's just all over the place. It's like there are no wrong notes. It's just bad technique. All it sounded like was he like missed the fret. You know what I mean? When you're talking about musicality, the musical nature of the notes being, quote, right or wrong, what is the context? If the context is the chord progression and the key, yes, there are wrong notes, only restricted and limited to that context. But they're still not wrong because you resolve it by going back to the right one. This video is all over the place. Here's the one where I play no wrong notes, and there's like 80% wrong notes. So what is he trying to prove? That, you know what I'm saying? He's not making my point, which is that wrong ones can be right if you resolve it. It's only bad technique and like missing the fret or something. You know what I mean? Which can still be resolved if you just forget about the mistake and move on. Just keep playing and keep moving along. Don't break stride. So like he's not actually making any point, and it was all contradictions of contradiction. So once again, you're wrong. There are no wrong notes because it's just an opinion on it being wrong. Chromatic notes can be used to create tension to resolve, like passing tones, which doesn't make it wrong as long as you resolve it. You could just say you artistically did that on purpose, like Larry Carlton, where he goes out of the scale and then goes back in to create tension, and then he resolves it. So is it actually wrong? No, it's not. Chromaticism would be considered wrong notes, but aren't. A blues scale contains wrong notes, but a blues scale isn't considered a wrong scale, even though the blue notes in the blues scale are wrong notes in a pentatonic box. So they're two different contexts. You'll say a blues scale is a regular thing. You'll say a pentatonic box is a regular thing, but the blues scale has wrong notes in a pentatonic box, so one context differs from another. The blue notes in the blues scale are wrong notes in a pentatonic box, but does that mean the blues scale is a wrong scale? No. So it's built from the mistakes of another context. Why isn't the blues scale considered wrong then? Because they're two different contexts. They're not connected, but you'll consider nothing wrong about a blues scale. So what the context is what matters, because one context can contradict another context, and this video has many contradictions. And you already know what it's going to be, where he never answers the comment because they just want to have their video and aren't really interested in the facts, because if they were, they would respond and have the debate, have the discussion, but they're not interested in the fact. Let me just put this video out, you know, and just say these fucking blanket statements. And just to follow up on the end, according to your video description, you think it limits someone to believe there are no wrong notes. But that's the definition of being limited. Playing wrong notes is to not be limited by a scale. Your theory contradicts itself. So how are you limiting yourself by thinking you can use anything? This is the same philosophy, and not music theory, that these guys are stuck in. This is the same philosophy that Bruce Lee would say about styles of fighting versus just using any techniques that don't have to have a fucking ideology about a style and shit of karate and judo and this and that. You just use anything. So it's infinite. You're unlimited. And within a style, you're limited. So with the philosophy of Bruce Lee, philosophically speaking, this is a contradiction. So now what is this proof of that I've been saying for 23 years? What is this proving right now that he's saying? That these guys have no philosophy, and they're stuck in like jazz standards and like learning sheet music and theory. They're stuck in a style of music. So in other words, the other day somebody made a post about how his jazz students aren't learning anything by just parroting a bunch of jazz standards. Right, because they have, what I said was because they have no philosophy. They're stuck in a limiting style called jazz, that like you would think that jazz would be the ultimate style of no style at all, and it just does all these wacky like things with chromatic notes and all these things that don't really sound musical, because allegedly, like supposedly in theory, in its namesake, jazz isn't a style because it just uses all this stuff. It's still a style. It's still just another cage with limits. It's no different because it's jazz. It's just another genre to be stuck in. The only way you're never going to be limited is by using all the notes and all the techniques you can and never calling it a style or a genre. Because again, what is it proof of? Exactly what I said. They don't have a philosophy. So they just copy the style, right? They play these standards. So his student was limited by jazz, by learning jazz standards. He's not learning himself. He's not expressing himself. So it's because they have no philosophy. There's no philosophy to open them up, so they're not limited. They have no philosophy. They just learn jazz standards. It's a contradiction.